Right now, I believe the suspect, he stole $60,000 worth of stuff from the Nordstrom's warehouse at 839 Commerce Place in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, but we only recovered $40,000 so far.
Tell us a little bit about how he operated and in particular how he marketed his stuff.
Well, the Nordstrom's loss prevention personnel had been working them for a while, so they let us in early on in the investigation. Once we got involved, we arrested him on the 19th. Then we served a search warrant on his cell phone, his vehicle. We found $2,000 worth of stuff in his vehicle. And then later on that night, we served a search warrant at his place and recovered the $40,000 worth of merchandise.
How was he marketing his stuff?
Well, when we got the search warrant for his cell phone, he was taking orders over the cell phone, and once he would receive those orders, he would come back and steal the merchandise from the warehouse, display it at his house, just like a Nordstrom's counter, take pictures, and send it out.
What kind of job did he have that allowed him access to this place?
He didn't actually work for Nordstrom's, he worked for a contracting company. He was there, and his only job was supposed to take merchandise off the truck. So we have him on video taking merchandise inside the truck, taking them out of the package. Once he removed the item, he'll place the item on his person and then tape the package back up.
You all released some video to us. It shows him at what appears to be an unloading facility and putting something in his coat and walking away. Would you describe that video for us and tell us what we've seen?
Okay, if you're talking about the video I'm thinking of, he had just...
the shoulder walks out.
Right, he came from off the truck, and at that point he had just wrapped the packages back up after he had placed the items on his person. And when he came back out, you're not supposed to have any baggage or packages or coats in the warehouse area. And it was 97 degrees that day, so he had a big, large winter coat, and he stuffed the sleeve with merchandise. So that particular day, he had 2 Michelle watches, some Christian Dior sunglasses, and a Movado watch, and we recovered all that stuff that you see on the footage.
It appears in the video, he looks up and smiles at somebody and says something. Do you happen to know if he was talking to somebody when he was doing this?
I believe he was talking to another employee, and that employee wasn't aware that he was stealing stuff.
He's doing it in plain sight, basically.
Yes.
Finally, how much money was he making doing this? Do you have any way to characterize that?
Well, he was getting rid of the merchandise 2 ways. All the merchandise that had a tracking code on it that Nordstrom used, he would take it back to the Nordstroms at Pentagon City or Tyson Corner, and he would receive full value for the merchandise.
Return?
Yes.
And otherwise was selling it?
Yes.
Aside from what you recovered, is there any idea how much money you made it during this scheme? Was it an ongoing thing? Has it been going on for a long time, or is this fairly short?
Well, right now, we're early on in the investigation. We're just going back as far as May, but the investigation is ongoing. We got additional warrants for him today. A matter of fact, 2 hours ago, we went looking for him. So he has an additional warrant for his arrest, and the investigation is ongoing.
Is he not in custody?
Not now.
What are your thoughts about the boldness of this?
Well, this is my first time seeing one person steal this amount of stuff without bags.
Clarification, you guys had him in custody and he's now not in custody?
Yes, we charged him with the first charge, the $2,000 worth of stuff we recovered from the store. Once we were able to get this merchandise from his house, establish a value, and put together when he took it, we got an additional search warrant for him for felony theft over $10,000 and under $100,000.
Did he make bail or bond or something in between there?
On the first charge, I believe his father bonded him out. We spoke with his father earlier today, so I don't know how much that bail was.
Are you concerned that you won't be able to get him back, or do you think he'll cooperate and turn himself in on these charges?
So far, he's been cooperating, so I'm quite sure we'll get him.
Can you describe, you had said before that the scene at his house looked like can you describe the scene at his house?
Well, when we first made entry into his house, of course, we went with the Charles County Sheriff Department, and his female partner opened up the door, and his dining room was displayed just like a display case in Nordstrom's.
Laid out on the table.
Laid out somewhat like this.
And then he'd take a picture of these items and sell them through Facebook.
Sometimes on Facebook, he would get in contact with people over Facebook or by text messaging. Take orders.
So he ran his own little personal department store.
Yes.
Tax-free.
Tax-free money.
And you said you've never seen anybody steal so much like this without using a bag?
Without using the bag. As you could see from the video that we provided, he would tuck the stuff in, sometimes in his waistband, in his pockets, cargo pockets, and walk out. And you see how large some of the stuff is.
And basically, his job at this Nordstrom's warehouse was to unload those big trucks?
His job at the warehouse was to take boxes off the truck, whole, with the merchandise still in it.
But what he would do was open some of the boxes and help himself.
No, he would select boxes that were already out in the open. If it's on the tractor trailer, of course it's dark and you can't see it. So he would unload stuff off the box and he would look for items that he would already took an order for. Then he would take those items back on the truck, take the new stuff out of them and wrap the original packing back up, and then place these items on his person somewhere.
Do you believe that it took him dozens of trips to do this?
Well,
Hundreds? How would you describe this?
He would go back and forth. He would take 15-minute cigarette breaks approximately 20 times a day. And each cigarette break, well, let's put it this way, he doesn't smoke. So each time he would go outside on a cigarette break, he would take stolen items out.
How old was he?
He was born January 3rd, 1980.
Do you think he was working alone? He did everything by himself, or do you think anyone was working?
Like I said, we're early on in the investigation. So far, all the evidence points to he was just working alone.
You said there was a female at his residence. Has she been charged with anything?
Not yet.
Is anybody else been charged?
Just him so far, but charges will be placed on a female.
What was the time frame on this again? When did he start? When do you think he started doing this?
So far, we're going back to May of this year.
How long have you been working there?
May this
Oh,
year.
you just started working there in May?
Yes.
What did you do before you did this?
He was a security guard.
He was?
Yes.
Oh, where?
Oh, I don't know.
Didn't pay much. Didn't pay much.
Not as much as this.
Did he have a prior criminal history? Does he have a prior criminal history?
Yes, I believe so.
Do you know what for?
I don't recall.
And he's out on bond.
Yes.
Are we sure we know where he is, or on bond he has to stay at his
Well, on the
house? He can
paperwork,
go.
he was living at 13 Keepsake Place in Waldorf, but on his release paperwork, he put his parents' address in Fort Washington. But we're looking for him right now as we speak.
Is the Keepsake Place the address where you found the merchandise?
Yes, sir.
You say you're looking for him now?
Yes.
You're going to rearrest him
Yes.
on a tougher charge?
Yes.
Any irony in the name of the street that he lived on to you?
Now that I think about it, yes.
So was anyone home when you came back to arrest him today?
Yes. The same female was there the night of the search warrant.
Okay. But you went to Fort Washington this time?
Yes.
Okay.
And we spoke with his father.
He's not a fugitive now, is he? You don't consider him,
No.
a fugitive? You think you'll get him?
Yes.
He'll turn himself in?
Either that or we'll get him.